So, we have ESV on the left side, ESV Tempest, and Heroes Hype on the right. Right now, we have a Nazebo ban going out for ESV Tempest and Stitches on Heroes Hype. Now, that's pretty normal, I feel, as those are two very, very strong heroes. Nazebo has been a problem in the past. And, boom. There we go. I have to make a quick little change. Stitches and Nazebo have been pretty big problems. Stitches being one of the strongest tanks out right now. So not really too surprised to see him get banned. I mean, he's been a problem for many people for a long time. Kind of normal. Nazebo not wanting to deal with it makes sense. With the first pick, Tassadar also, his shields are always immensely strong. Always good to have on your team. Arthas being picked up by Heroes Hype. Next best tank in the pool. Definitely makes sense. Can totally see that. It limits Tempest, but, you know, there's always other tanks. It'll be a little bit of a off tank, shall you say. But, in general, it's still a strong tank. Now, what? There we go. Okay, sorry guys, having to fix a few of the menus. Tychus being picked up also by Heroes Hype. He is a very strong damage dealer. I know Falstad, Tychus, and Vala are the most competed for damage dealers, so definitely picking up Tychus is a strong hero. One thing that against Tychus, you can just kind of run away, because as he morphs, you have enough time, you have a window to at least run, pop it, or something else. So ESV Tempest is going to have to try and play that hand, but overall, definitely not too big of a surprise to see the Tychus pick. Tyrael, very early, picked by ESV Tempest. I mean, woo! Tyrael and Vala. Vala being a very high damage dealer, and Tyrael, though, they're going for the shield stacking, it looks like, with Tassadar and Tyrael together. I think they're gonna have a very tough time trying to break through all those shields. Hold on a second. Checking to see if this is a best of 3 or a best of 1 and what the map pools are. Sorry, guys. Right now, let's see here. Heroes Hype picking up the Uther. Lots of CC and snares going down right now for Heroes Hype. A very big healer. Hopefully, the shields for Tempest or the heals for Uther will be strong enough to counteract each other. But right now, Tempest is looking very strong with the Tyrael and Tassadar shields going for him. Ooh, am I gonna get a little bit of forecourt in here? Oh. Hup. Disconnecting myself from TeamSpeak. Sorry, guys. So, Uther, Kerrigan, Tychus, and Arthas. Lots of CC coming out from Heroes Hype. They are looking to just hold them down and allow them to go nowhere. Sorry, guys. I apologize. We got people coming in trying to figure out, hey, who's casting this and whatnot. So it was very quick and brought to. ESV Tempest coming out with a Falstad Brightwing. Now, Brightwing is going to be super strong against the Uther. And Falstad, depending on which ult, if he gets the pushback ult and Tychus pops his Odin, Falstad could just push them away and they could run. And if Brightwing goes her Wind, her Emerald Dream, or no, that's... I can't remember her ability. Sorry, guys. I don't play Brightwing support. But they have a lot of disengage, and running with the Tyrael tank, very interesting, but they do have a lot of escape mechanics. Tassadar with his phase shift Tyrael with his Eldarin's Might, Vala with her Vault, Falstad with his Barrel Roll, and if he chooses his ultimate to push them back, and then Brightwing with Heal. They have a lot of disengage, so it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to soak up Heroes Hype engagement and try and counteract it, or maybe they'll just go all out damage and try and displace them as best as they can with Tyrael cast aside, Falstad knockback, or Brightwing knockback. It'll be very interesting to see how this rolls out. This is the best of 3, by the way, guys. The best of 3. Just so you all know. Let's see, Heroes Hype really thinking about their final pick. I mean, do they go for that range damage, or are they going to try and get another support to try and keep up with all the shields that both Tyrael and Tassadar have? And it looks like they're going to go with Sergeant Hammer. A very interesting pick, but a very strong pick nonetheless. So I am excited to get into this. Guys, it is Mr. J Pickles here, just so you know. Thank you to the teams that got me here. Hold on. We're going to get Mr. Forecourt in here. That way I'm not alone. Oh, I searched him and it didn't. Where is he? There we go. Oh, what? Dark Jester. Search. Can I add him? Can I add him? Can I add him? Yes. Oh my gosh. I will not be alone, guys. I will not be alone. Shane Gucher, aka Forecourt, is going to be joining us. Forecourt Jester. I gave you my Skype in game, okay? I'll make sure not to show that then. I think I sent you. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Let's see if I can get you now. Hello.
Hello.
Oh! We have another caster here. How are you, good sir?
Good. I literally just saw Twitter and came into here, and it was just like, I hope this is getting casted, and it looks like you're casting it, and now I'm here, and I think the teams are antsy to go.
Yes, they are very antsy to go. It is nice to have you here. Let me turn up the volume so we can hear you a little bit better. Should be good. All right. I am... Ooh, sorry for the dings, guys. I am ready when you are, if you want to turn on your video, but of course I guess we don't need to worry about that now because right now we're going to get into the game. I will ready up. Sorry, y'all.
That video is not going to work.
That video is not going to work. So
I can give it. I'll give it to you after the end of this one.
Yeah. So pretend Forecourt's there right now, but I am ready to go. I am ready. Forecourt, are you ready?
Yeah, man, go for it. I have not even looked at the draft or anything. I'm just so frazzled. So I'll just leave you to intro.
The draft right here. I will. Windows and everything. Here you go. There is the draft for you, good sir. And let's get into the game. We are playing on the Cursed Hollow. ESV Tempest versus Team Heroes Hype. Very interesting picks coming out from Heroes Hype. But also interesting on Tempest's side. I think more so interesting on Tempest's side.
Too many buttons, too many buttons.
Click all the things.
Just give me the ID on that draft and I can quickly look at it.
It should... did it not go through?
I don't see anything. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. You will see them now. Alrighty, so do you want to introduce our players on the blue team?
Sure, yeah, let's get into that it looks like we're going to be spawning into the Cursed Hollow blue team. Oh, a team that I definitely covered a lot of yesterday in Cup number 9. Oop! Mr. Toe Jam and Earl, Treble, QXC? What? And Nightmare here going to be representing ESV Tempest. That's actually rather surprising. QXE, that can't be the real QXE.
I guess we'll find out soon enough. And in
Okay.
the red pants, we have Taza on Arthas, Ursadon on Kerrigan, Hawkfu on Sergeant Hammer, Suki on the Uther, and Yuki on Tychus. This is going to be very confusing, I can already tell you now. Suki and Yuki.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tongue twister, going back and forth. But you can always just call them by the hero names. Worst comes to worst. This is an interesting choice here from Hawk Fu. I know that he definitely loves his hammer play and he loves going into that master skin. But why on earth is he mid?
Well, maybe it could be against. They know that they're going to be doing a try push on Tempest's side, so maybe just to try and counteract the Tassadar. Very, like I said, it was a very interesting draft and very. I guess we'll see it all unfold for us, but very, very unique, I feel, for Tempest. I don't know. Or at least just this draft, since the big tanks have been Stitch's Arthas, and then fill in the blank here with any other warrior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm assuming it was a Stitches ban then as well.
Yes, it was a Stitch's ban.
And I'm also assuming I was the first pick Tassadar again, just kind of going in a little bit blind. But the Tassadar, he's going to get collapsed upon mid, but he is a tough fellow to corner. At least earlier on, has that Void Shift ready to go. Later on, it just becomes even harder to kill him with all the various survivabilities that he has.
Yeah, sorry, I was messing with the sound a little bit.
Am I too quiet?
Oh, I think the game was a little bit too loud, possibly. It looks like Herotype is going to be lining up for a gank with the Kerrigan Uther. They can definitely shut somebody down, but both Brightwing and Vala and Falstad have a great escape mechanism, and Treble perfectly calling them out, shooting his ability into there. Well done.
Yep. A little bit of a spidey sense tingling, just like, all right, they're not on the map. We're definitely going to be the big party lane in the bottom. That's a big target as well, because the squishies, they do got Vala and Falstad with those escape mechanics, but you catch them with a CC chain, and it doesn't matter how much healing you got this early, and a Brightwing is not really going to afford a lot of upfront healing. It's all about the sustain, so they have to be a little careful. But that being said, those towers are just absolutely melting bottom lane against Yuki.
Very quick advantage coming out for Tempest. Just pulling a little bit ahead in the level 5, but still relatively close game right here. Waiting for that first tribute to spawn.
This is something that Hawkfu's been doing as well. The level 4 town, it's not going to be the extended range. He actually goes into the dueling build with the Vampiric Assault. This will keep him in with the lane presence, but you pay for it with that -1 range penalty. So that I've seen him do that a few times now in the matches over the last few weeks, and it's just a bit more. There's less healing intense, I guess, that's going to be used on Hawkfu. He's definitely going to be looking for the lane pressures off by himself, and especially doing out against some of the bigger DPS like Vala, bigger DPS like Falstad. That's definitely some big bursts. The extra sustain is going to be most welcome for him.
Nice little poke from Ursadon onto the Tyrael, landing Kerrigan combo perfectly. Now Tempest is looking to posture to fight, whereas Herotype seems to just be delaying, but Taz taking a lot of damage from the entire team of Tempest. And it looks like Tempest will be able to pick this up with ease, while Sergeant Hammer sits and pushes mid as best as she can.
Yeah, but I don't even think she's going to get that tower, because here comes QXC. The mine's in the bush. It's the early warning system. Out comes the hyper thrusters, and Hawkfu is just going to be off to the races. So not really a lot of damage being done, but it was a more soak-intensive first tribute. I mean, the first tribute, sure, it's the first. It's not going to be a curse. But now, you're going to have to try to capitalize on the advantages you've made to get ahead of the levels, so you can do it later.
Yes, for sure. And you can tell, though, that Herotype sitting in lane and soaking instead of sending everybody up there. They were able to get a slight experience lead. Now, one of the tough things on this map for Hammer is getting from one tribute to the next, or getting from lane to lane. So that's probably why they put Hawkfu in the mid lane, just to try and ease that movement for him.
but it's a risky move, especially against some like more CC intensive comps. I'm not really seeing a lot of CC on the side here though of ESV Tempest, so they felt like it was enough. You know, if you flip the switch here, you got an Arthas on the enemy team, you got a Kerrigan on the enemy team. Now you're talking about, you know, 2 possible avenues for a gank. So that definitely, they evaluated it and they put it mid. So I see what you're saying though, because it can get up and down. But still, even in the mid, she didn't even come up for that tribute, just pushed.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and both teams taking their giants respectively. Looks like we may have a little bit of a fight breaking out here just in a moment. Heroes Hype with the level advantage, but not for long. But this does also lead into the next tribute that may spawn. They may be 10 before Tempest can even hit it.
I don't know. This is going to have to be a very prolonged fight. A little bit of poke going back and forth. Ursanon's going to be the big target there. He gets a heal from Suki. Oops, now going to be the big return target. But, oh, everybody's clumping up. That is not where you want to be. But thankfully, the Kerrigan combo was enough. They got the kill on top of the Ghost. The Ghost form now coming out here for the Uther as well. Hawk Fu has already blown through that first aid. And there goes the Arthas. Oh, what a big clump. The clump from Ursanon is bringing everybody here low, but it still kills going back and forth, and I think Tempest is going to reign supreme. Treble is not even scathed.
It was a very nice fight taken by Tempest. They did lose 1, but overall that was, or they lost 2, sorry. Tyrael already respawned. It was a really nice take by Tempest, and it looks like that early level lead was to no avail as they are now 10. Next tribute will be an even 10-10 fight.
And you do see the opt here for Reign of Vengeance on the Valor. She does have the multi-shot build going, the battle momentum, but Reign of Vengeance into the Judgment, into a Hinterland Blast. It's a really nice setup here for the big Wombo, and the only way to get out of that will be basically the cleanse, because we do have Divine Storm on the Uther instead of the shields. So we're going to have to see who they're actually going to be targeting out. Can anybody here take Ice Block? They cannot. So Heroes Hype, they got to be very careful of that Wombo.
Tempest picking up a very nice early golem that should be able to take out that wall. Don't know how much more though. It definitely depends on where Heroes Hype plans to rotate to, and it looks like they are all running down to try and lessen the damage that they receive. And the next tribute will be spawned on the lower half, but it is on Tempest's side, so this will be a definitely tough fight for them.
Yeah, they're not in a good spot here because they either have to defend this golem and lose out, you know, the towers, possibly even a fort, or they got to go here to this tribute and just, you know, try to contest it. Right now, it looks like they are actually going to collapse on top of Tempest here, and that's going to be the not the combo that we were thinking of, but still, Brightwing's going to be the big insta-give here, and Arthas barely even gets out those ghouls before he goes down. First aids in the back, but low hit points across the board here for the Heroes Hype. Out comes that range increase on the side, and that is almost enough to take down Ursadon, but the Odin was just doing some big damage there in the front line. Nobody was paying attention whatsoever, and the return damage is too much for ESV Tempest. The shots from Hawkfu will not break the shield. ToeJam and Earl will survive, but who even got that? Oh, the tribute did actually go the way.
Yes, Tempest picked it up. Who was that? ToeJam Earl snuck it while they all fought in the bushes. Now this golem has no way of getting killed by the tower, so he's just going to be whacking away at it, and Heroes Hype is going to have to defend that. It definitely a nice pickup and lessened the effectiveness of Tempest's curse because they took them out. 4 members at least of Tempest. It's a very nice take.
With all the kills going back and forth, I mean, there's nobody to do anything with that golem. That was kind of the sticky situation they were in. They either had to defend the golem, get cursed, or they defend the curse, and the golem basically steams through. Unfortunately, they lost both, but they did get the kills, so that will keep them more or less even with the experience, despite the losses on the forts. And, you know, level 14 to 13, we are at least still on the same talent tier. And looking back and forth here, Mr. J, talents all seem pretty cookie cutter to me.
Yes, nothing really too out of the ordinary. Getting Relentless just to lessen the CC of Brightwing. That double poly can definitely be a nightmare for your team. Yep, everything's pretty normal. Kerrigan getting that ultra adaptation also being taken. Very, very smart and safe play there. Can run away, and it looks like they are going to be collapsed on this giant.
Yeah, Oop's gonna come in there. I mean, Suki just melts absolutely. Here comes the Shakana. Yuki's already down to half in that Odin, but the Odin's not dead yet. Big damage numbers being returned. That's gonna be now Ghost Form Tyrio, who takes Arthas to the grave with him. But again, the Odin, they tried so hard to pop it out, but that's gonna be a lot of kills thanks to Yuki. Team wipe. Now going to be there for ESV Tempest. They didn't get the golem, and they lost that fight. This is going to be, for sure, some bigger pressure now mounting for Heroes Hype, and that puts them basically in the driver's seat of this game.
Level 16 definitely has their window opportunity. Giants pushing bot lane, pressuring that fort. Golem pushing top lane, pressuring that fort. Hammer sitting mid, pushing that fort. So much pressure coming out of Heroes Hype. Great advantage, great win on that boss fight. Golem, excuse me. So Heroes Hype looking very strong, and definitely this game is in their hands.
You are right with the adaptation. I actually expected that to be the Zerglings spawn at level 7, but adaptation is going to be used, well, hopefully strategically for a retreat, or, you know, perhaps even aggressively. You put somebody far forward, like a sprinting Uther, for example. Ursanon will be getting in there. These tight corridors have worked out very well for Ursanon. The Kerrigan has set up actually quite a few of these combos, and we saw the big damage return in that last fight for Heroes Hype. Tempest cannot afford to kind of do that again. If they don't get off these big wombos and blow up somebody immediately, they're just actually putting themselves very far forward, and their neck is on the chopping block at that point.
Now the boss was not able to clear top, normally wouldn't, but also the two giants were caught just in time from the boss progressing forward, so the giants were able to help damage the golem and kill him, so very lucky for Tempest there. Or strategic, who knows?
Check out the 16s. We actually are going to be taking a triple stone skin. Triple stone skin, my friend.
An imposing presence, always strong against a Tassadar with Archon and a Falstad. Vala probably doesn't affect too much, but it's still less damage that you're going to be taking. When Uther's sprinting at your face, he's probably going to be the one getting hit.
Yeah, especially all that AoE. So Party Bush is going to get found out here by the Napalm Strike from Hawk Fu. We do got another tribute now in the bag here for Heroes Hive. They are maintaining the level lead, but they're no longer up a talent tier. We got the 16s on the other side of the fence here as well. Prescience and Dimensional Warp for the Tassadar. Very hard to kill. Late game Overdrive for the Falstad, and double blood for blood between the Tyrio and the Vala. And, it's just, they need to blow up somebody. It cannot be this Arthas. He's just too hard to kill. It has to be somebody like Ursa. It has to be somebody like Hawk Fu for Tempest to get a big upper edge in these fights.
Looks like they're going to try and get in there. Suki sitting in the brush, stuns the Brightwing. Kerrigan going in on the ball on the Falstad. A perfect combo from the Kerrigan. Vala tries to get out, gets the Nightmare off, gets the Shocking off, hitting every single member of Heroes Hype. Heroes Hype slowly backing up. Kerrigan gets blown up. Suki is falling down. Members of Tempest barely running out with their lives. Trouble getting caught out. Odin trying to chase them down, and Treble will get out of there just in time. What a take for Tempest. Now, they weren't able to get the tribute, but they were able to pick up the Kerrigan and all survive. So, nice takeaway, although they did not get the tribute, which puts Heroes Hype at 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and the next tribute they absolutely have to contest because they cannot afford another curse, not at this late game. And there's likely to be a fight there as well. If it goes badly for them, it's rubbing salt in the wound, so to speak, because they are going to be hurting after that. It was a big collapse on top of QXC. You saw the Kerrigan even popping up the rewind, trying to get the double on top of QXC, but the cleanse came out. She got to safety. There was no kill, and then it was just the juggling of the hit points was actually really well done for ESV Tempest because they kept trading out the healthier members into the back. It's like if you see StarCraft 2, it's like Blink Micro going back and forth. And, the anticlimactic part of it was they only killed Ursidon, but Tempest survived, and that was actually really well done for them. Yeah, they lost out the tribute, but they didn't die, and they didn't lose more than just that.
Now both teams pretty much neutraling out. Heroes Hype will go down to try and lessen the damage of that golem. It'll probably only be able to take out the wall since they engaged it rather early, and the Giants they have to help them damage. But at the same time, Tempest will be pushing down that mid fort, and they definitely have a window to get it. Very nice and easy. Big window to get it.
Yeah, and that would put them very close to 18. We're almost neck and neck here with the experience. If the top boss was just a little quicker on a spawn, I could have seen Tempest actually rotating up, knowing that all of Heroes Hype was actually going to be in the bottom and now the mid to clean up. But It was not meant to be, but we do have this one tribute now coming out, and I don't think Heroes Hype is actually going to contest. I think they're actually now setting up their own boss.
I wonder if they will go for a party bush or if they are going to go straight for it, which they are. They have to be careful though. Tempest definitely has to sense that boss just spawned. They're going to be going for it, and they're slowly closing in. Let's see if it'll turn out in their favor this time.
Well, they're losing out that opportunity because, yeah, we do got the scouts out. Taza and Suki, they're staying really far off. Boss is still up, though. It's going to act as a 6-team member for both sides. And Tojam Monroe, he sneaks himself in. That's going to be the Archon. Oops, now there as well. Great Hinterland Blast across Hawk Fu. That is going to be some big damage. Material's going to drop. There goes the Brightwing as well. Perhaps a little bit too far overextended. Tojam and Earl is not going to be able to stay on the point, and it will be now a Golem for Heroes Hype and a near team wipe on the back of all that. They tried a little too hard, I think, Mr. J, to make sure that didn't happen.
Well, QXE is trying to get out, but he is getting surrounded by the Arthas and the Kerrigan. Will he be able to pick up anybody up? No, Suki gets the heal off, and QXE is just trying to delay now. The third tribute for Heroes Hype spawns. Wonder when they'll take it, because they have a window right here, 15 seconds until Brightwing spawns, so they could just let that tribute sit there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing really forcing their hand. Hawkfu can just set up here and just start hammering away at the keep, even if he wanted to. But low hit points across the board. You know, Heroes Hype, they kind of cut that one a little close. The Valor collapse, though, was very smart, and you almost outplayed that Kerrigan. That would have been a very entertaining return kill. But we're just going to let the boss do the work up top. We're now going to get that curse here as well. But Heroes Hype, I think they're just going to go for some mercs because they're just not in position to push.
Yeah, definitely. They'd have to get all the way across the map, and by the time they got there, probably only 30 seconds, 40 maybe, left on the curse. And then they'd be engaging in another fight. But they do have level 20 now, so if they want to pick a fight, they want to pick it now because they've got their 20s. And let's take a look at those real quick. We've got Storm Shield on the Uther, not going for the bigger range Divine Storm. What
did he go for?
Storm Shield instead.
Oh, wow. You don't see that every day. Now, Brightwing picking up a Storm Shield, yeah, sure, I can see that. Or Rhaegar, yeah, that's understandable, but no Hurricane. Okay.
Looks like Heroes Hype pushing down that front keep, and they will get it. Bot lane is slowly pushing, top lane is slowly pushing. It looks like they're just going to back out, take the Giants. Kind of just wearing that curse out, waiting for their opportunity. They need to take that engagement though soon, although not really soon. They have a lot of time. Tempest has not hit 19 yet, so looks like if there's going to be a fight, it'll be now.
Yeah, there's no point in rushing it. They got the 2-level advantage. They got the Storm tier talents ready to go. I mean, when it does come to a fight, the clear advantage is going to be there for Heroes Hype. So they can easily just pick it as much as they want. And oop, you know, he's actually going to come down to half. Oh, the Rain of Vengeance catches Hawk Fu, but he has himself that healer. He has that first aid going forward, and that's not going to be a surviving keep whatsoever. It's a hard engage here from Tempest. I mean, they got to pick something, and they got to pick it soon if they want to try to do, you know, the core as a 6-member, use the creeps to their advantage, the defender advantage with all the spawns for the extra bodies, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to do that whatsoever.
Taking the 2 keeps definitely helps, lets the lane push for them. All that's left is bot lane now to get the keep. Gonna go for the Knights now. 20 seconds on Tempest side's boss. They may try and position for it or just catch somebody out.
A catch would be huge if they can get a catch.
Yeah.
But, you know, these teams, you know, late game, it's all about sticking together. Any team that doesn't stick together, well, basically deserves to lose. And, you know, these guys, they know that. Heroes Hype, you can see they're not really straying far from each other whatsoever. And, man, it's a tough spot here for Tempest. I mean, they had a really nice early to mid. They weren't really falling behind. But then almost 2 team wipes later, they're looking down the barrel of this one. If they can't contest this boss, it could be it.
It's going to be a tough engage. Arthur is getting poked down over the wall. Oh, Suki getting in there, getting a nice ult off. Didn't hit that many. He's all alone now. Gets ulted by the Tyrael. He will fall. Goes up. Rain of Vengeance clogging up that middle lane. Yuki shooting over the wall with Odin. A long-range Hawk Fu snipe. Perfectly placed. 1-for-1 exchange, but they do have that boss slowly coming down, and Taza pops his ghouls, and he'll be back to full health in just a matter of seconds. Hawk Fu already taking aggressive position with that siege. And they're going to pressure this bot keep and definitely threaten the end game.
Yeah, without the front line here from Tempest, they got nobody to engage. They're all fairly squishy. Toe Jam's actually going to get hit by the roots, but I mean, it's likely not to be a death with him. He does have the Dimensional and the Void both ready to go. So, as I said, it's very hard to kill a Tassadar late game. You just saw it right there. As I said, though, if they couldn't get this pick, it's probably going to be game. That's a good kill on top of the Kerrigan, but this boss is still raring to go, man.
Slowly poking it down. Hawkfu is just right-clicking the core. Tempest is trying. Hawkfu has fallen, but that golem is just too healthy. And Heroes Hype will take game 1 from ESV Tempest.
Those small corridors, man, that's the big problem with Kerrigan. You know, it's a big problem here with the Falstad as well. If you get into these small areas, the big ults come out, the stun combos come out, they hit multiple people, and you just lose all your hit points. I mean, a lot of those team fights were just expertly picked there from Ursadon in terms of his targets, and he was a big driving force for the front line, you know, because they protected the Hammer extremely well. Like Tychus in the back with the Odin, got it off every time. He never got insta-blown up, and he was able to return a lot of damage, especially those early to mid fights.
The burst heals from Uther were definitely enough, and they were able to break through the Tyrael, Tassadar, and some of Brightwing's shielding and healing. So, well played by Heroes Hype. Tempest looked strong at the start, like you were saying, and just couldn't keep it on going, keep it flowing.
So tank mid, man, that's something for the history books right there. But when you don't have a big ganking lineup, I think it's actually really smart. I'm going to have to start incorporating that into some of my own Cursed Hollow matches, because I'm an absolute fan of Sergeant Hammer. The dueling build from Hawkfu kept her alive so many times in some of these fights. I mean, with that vamp, all those auto attacks, I mean, how many times did we see her at the skin of her teeth, right?
Definitely. Guys,